Solid as the pier was, Violet caught glimpses of the sand below through the gaps between the boards, and then of seawater as they moved further away from dry land. A slight sense of disorientation made her pause for a second, aware that they were putting their trust in the structure to hold them safely above the waves. Glancing back towards Cal, she found he'd paused too, and his little nod and thumbs up was enough to make her turn back and carry on again. Halfway now. She knew as much because a pale blue stripe had been painted across the boards and inscribed with the faded words, "Halfway to Paradise." Vi hunkered down to look at it, tracing her fingertips over the swirled golden letters, glad they'd stood the test of time. Was it her grandmother's hand? She suspected so. The letters had been accented in gold leaf, and something in the style reminded Violet of the Lido apartment. Looking at it, Vi couldn't help but wonder if her grandmother had paused to look at it the very last time she'd walked the pier. Apprehension twisted her mouth, and then Cal's hand on her shoulder made her look up, shielding her eyes from the low, peach-pink sunrise with her hand. "It's tradition not to step on the line," he said. "Everyone in town knows that." Standing, Vi blew on her cold fingers, digesting this new bit of detail about the town's relationship with the pier, even those too young to have ever been on it. "Right," she said, stepping carefully over the board. Maybe the rule was a practical one. They're simply to protect the paint. Or perhaps it was more deeply rooted in superstition. Good luck, bad luck. Was it random, or did fate play a part? Had Violet always been destined to come here? Giving herself a mental shake, she marched along the pier, her head held high, not stopping again until she reached the end, where the boards flared out to accommodate the pavilion. She wasn't just Monica's artistic, impulsive granddaughter. She was Della's daughter, and Della had instilled a forthright practicality in her only child that served her well in that moment. "Keys," she whispered, feeling in her coat pocket. "Do you want me to come in with you?" Cal asked. Violet slid the key into the lock and found it as well maintained as the previous one. Despite the fact that the pavilion was glass, it was difficult to see inside due to the dust accumulated over many years standing empty. "Yes, come in," she said, unthreading the chain from the door handles and laying it on the floor. As she bent, she caught sight of the waves beneath them, a reminder that they were cut adrift from the mainland. Straightening, she rolled her shoulders and pulled the door open, giving it a bit of a shake when it offered resistance. "Smells a bit." She wrinkled her nose, pulling off her bobble hat and stepping inside, as Cal pulled the door closed behind them. They stood shoulder to shoulder. Or rather, side by side, given that Cal was a good 6'2" to Violet's 5'4". "Whoa," Cal murmured. "I've only ever seen inside it in photographs." His words reminded Violet how much the pier was ingrained in the locals, and also reinforced how bizarre it was, really, that she'd grown up with no knowledge of it at all. "Do you know what it was used for?" she asked, not yet moving further inside. He paused. "Exhibitions, I think. And as a gallery too for a while in the 60s, if my memory serves me rightly. It was a shopping arcade for a while too." "Really?" Cal nodded. "Local craft shops, souvenirs, that kind of thing." Violet gathered her coat closer around her. She had no idea what she was going to do with the pier, if anything. Her thought process hadn't got much beyond this moment. Seeing it, walking in Monica's footsteps, trying to understand its power over her grandmother. "Shall we look around?" Violet found herself glad of Cal's suggestion.